featuring Slick Shot Show Off. Is that the right?
Say that 7 times fast now.
Yeah, one time was enough. I'm good. All right, Jarvis, what do you think about this matchup? Who do you think's favored here?
I think generally for prowess, if you're on the play, there's not that many bad matchups, and if you're on the draw, a lot of your matchups become harder.
Okay.
I mean, like, I Emma's hand is excellent. She's on the play. In this matchup specifically, I think Lava Dart scales a lot more on the play as opposed to the draw.
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense. It's a lot nicer to, like, if you're sacrificing, especially if you're flashing it back, if you're sacrificing a land to pick a creature off, that feels a lot better when you're the one who's applying pressure.
And look here, Emma left on top. I assume it's a second land. It would be kind of insane if it weren't a second land, you know?
Yeah.
I have a serious question for you. Thraven Inspector or Novice Inspector?
Oh, Thraven all day. Gotta support the originals. I mean, I'll take it a step further, Squire. Just why not?
Well, come on. No, there's no time for that nonsense.
Okay, that's fair.
But Esper Sentinel here is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot. I don't hate the Sentinel because I don't think you're probably getting you're probably not gonna be able to block anyway, but maybe get a little bit of value out of here. If Saffron and Olive can put down Thalia next turn, that probably will go a long ways.
So Mutagenic Growth was left on top. That does enable your faster kills with Slick Shot Show Off. And the reason to cast this now is actually Thalia.
I do like casting it now. It becomes like, especially against a Thalia deck, you don't want to try to like play too slowly and then just cripple yourself as a result.
What did you think of the bobble not being cracked that one turn? That was a little bit odd, right?
Yeah, I would like to crack the bobble. You want to see a second land, so you can play a Slick Shot.
So we need like land Lava Dart, I think, are the two ideal draws right here. That not so much.
Yeah, I probably would choose to play. You could play either the Swift Spear and say go, but I kind of like prefer to play the bobble and give another chance of finding another land, like in a future turn.
Well, I also want to play the bobble because the second land, I think you're not going to win this game without a second land, I think, and also just cycling all those things. Yeah, I think I would have played the bobble, and also if you remove, yeah, I think I would have played the bobble, but she's setting up for a big turn instead, I guess, is the plan.
Yeah, which could pan out. With that being said, I feel like this game is starting to slip away a little bit. Like Saffron can play like an Adeline here, or even the Inspector plus the Lieutenant. I think either line looks fine to me. And then next turn, have this monster board.
So the advantage of playing, I think, Adeline that turn is it's better versus land lightning bolt, I guess technically. But you can kind of write off Emma having a lightning bolt, right?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure about that necessarily because only having access to one mana against a Thalia, sometimes it's hard to see. But
this is a tough spot for Emma. No second land. cannot cast any removal spells because every removal spell costs at least 1 mana, and then 2 with the Thalia, of course.
Right. Yeah, this is a really tough spot. I think, and now with the Thalia being 2 toughness, that Lava Dart looks a lot worse too. Yeah, the game. I feel like the game's kind of slipped away at this point. I could see a world where if Emma's hand was a bunch of spells, drawing 1 or 2 lands in a row could get her back into the game. But having the hand be like predominantly creatures plus a very situational Lava Dart, I think it's gonna be tough. Like the game is probably gonna be over in like 2 attacks from Saffron, so there's not a lot of time here.
And also next turn, Saffron has a really clean curve of play Adeline, use Windburst Kites to impulse for an Emrakul, or even like probably a Solitude or a Thalia's Lieutenant is good enough as well off of the Windburst Kites.
Right. And I'm a big fan of the conceptual idea of Adeline, put Emrakul under the Windburst Kites, attack for lethal, and play the Emrakul just for style points, even though it has no bearing on the the outcome of the actual game.
I believe we call that in the business asserting dominance.
Yeah, that's the still had all these. Some say, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Have you played a lot with Adeline?
Actually, I've played a pretty decent amount with it. What tournament was that? It was some on like
Yeah, well, one's online tournaments, yeah.
Yeah, some online tournament where there was like a white creature deck that was really strong.
Let's see, this is an attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there are 2 good blockers. Yeah, I think it's a wrap now, unfortunately, for Emma.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure what world there is. There might be some possible line. I could see like hitting a land, hitting like a lightning bolt. Maybe that wouldn't even do it.
There are the lands.
There they are. Yeah.
All in a row, in fact, which is kind of a slap in the face.
Yeah, I think if this was land 3 here, then there's a world where something could maybe happen. But as it stands, just taking so many turns off. As it turns out, it's not good in Magic.
No, I think it's a little bit too late. What you would have needed was one of those lands to be a lightning bolt, remove the Thalia, chump a little bit, and then hope to set something up next turn. I think is the universe where it looks like you can win, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, yeah. And I think it's always important to like have some idea in your head of like what is the universe in which I can win and play towards that.
Yeah, because you can't get lucky unless you realize what getting lucky looks like, right?
Yeah, because sometimes getting lucky isn't even just drawing the right card. Well, it is, but it's also putting yourself in a position where the right card is enough to win the game too.
He Windburst Heights into effectively another Windburst Heights in Collector's Cage, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that is a combo, as we say. That's a nice one.
Is like it? That. You're just spending time spinning your wheels.
What better thing is there to do?
Yeah, I forgot Mr. Sensei's Demanding Top himself. All right, let's see. Is there an Emrakul here or a Solitude? Are we doing the thing?
I hope we do the thing. I want to see the thing.
Well, it's only quote unquote a Solitude. Only
a free Solitude. I can do that myself. I don't need
to. We don't need to go to Windburst Kites and Collector's Cage for that nonsense.
No, we don't. Do you think? Is there anything you think that changes dramatically after sideboard for this kind of a matchup?
Well, I'm looking at Emma's sideboard, and it's actually just very hateful towards prowess, and not very hateful versus. Well, I guess the extra removal spells are good. Yeah, no, I guess just having all of that extra removal is quite good in this form, in this matchup, because really what matters is killing everything. However, on Saffron's side, Sanctivar and Vec, just a real banger in the matchup. Like you couldn't really ask for a better card.
Right. I mean, just a banger in general, for being honest. But yeah,
Mhm.
particularly here, it really does everything. Like it blocks everything. It like shuts down, any kind of like graveyard type stuff. Shuts down Dragon's Rage Channeler to some extent. Yeah.
Just on Underworld Breach, I think I might be tempted to shave like one Breach in this matchup. Breach is also pretty bad versus Thalia, is the other reason I think I might shave one. You know.
Yeah. I can buy that logic. This is a left field comment. Any thoughts to Blood Moon in this kind of a matchup? Or is that
Uh,
is that
it,
going too deep?
it's not actually that unreasonable if you land it before Saffron plays a Windbrisk Kites or Mutavault or something. But I think in general, the games you win are all removal based, that I probably wouldn't risk it.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Oh, MSN is extremely good.
Yeah, I would say the Saffron Olive's hand's extremely good too. This should be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Although that Lava Dart is looking mighty strong.
I I told you, Lavender in these matchups is ridiculous. Like, I think there might be merit to leaving up the dart next turn instead of playing out this slick shot show off, but it's kind of close, you know.
I think, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think you probably should, honestly, because presuming that Champion of the Parish is the play,
Mhm.
I think leaving up the dart makes a lot of sense.
Now I'm just remembering all the times you played humans and your champion never had to contend with lava dart, right?
Um, I don't think it ever had to contend with Lava Dart at, well, maybe there might have been some overlap with like a Phoenix deck that was playing it, but I don't think it was a popular choice.
I don't think lava dart was legal. It was in MH2, right?
Honestly, I don't know. I my concept of when cards came out anymore is completely obliterated.
Oh no, lava dart's MH1. Yeah, I guess were people playing humans by MH1? I don't remember honestly. That's too hard to remember.
This is an interesting choice here. Yeah, I like that one, but I like playing the champion a little bit better, I think. You
I,
lose so
yeah.
much power and toughness if you lead with the Sentinel. Because next turn you want to play the Thalia, and the turn after that you're gonna want to play the Adeline. So
Mhm.
it's yeah.
I think regardless, you just have to take your lumps versus lava dart no matter what this game. Ooh, the second slick shot show up might actually change the math for me.
Yeah, it's I think if you know you're drawing, like, especially if you know you're gonna draw a third land, then being able to go double show off into dart seems really strong. Um,
Huh. What's the reason to plot that slick shot go off?
not sure.
And we're cool drawn off the top. This is the danger of putting a card like that into your deck.
Where you see danger, I see opportunity.
What's the
Fif-
opportunity?
15 lands. Really grindy
Uh,
game.
I really cannot imagine that happening. Like,
No, I don't think that's gonna happen.
uh, I'm just trying to imagine what opportunity are you exactly imagining? This is why we are such good friends, you know.
It is. It is. I think the option I'm thinking about, like, okay, well, I'm gonna hold that thought because a Mishra's Bauble was drawn. Yeah, I think here you can do some work. Lava Dart there.
Mhm.
Play the Bauble. maybe hopefully put another card type into the yard.
Agreed.
I don't know that it even.
You can get sorcery or creature.
Hmm.
Probably bobble yourself because you have the fetch land, obviously. If the card's good, you leave it. If it's not, you bin it.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think Emma saw the card off the channeler, so
Got it.
in that case, yeah, I think you would want to probably bobble your opponent. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting, basically a race here. That collector's, I could see that collector's cage being like if it finds an Emrakul or a Solitude, even
Well,
basically breaking the game.
I think there are a lot of cards Emma can draw immediately next turn that are lethal.
Yeah,
Um, I think second Lava Dart does it because that's just so many like triggers off of like two slick shots plus a Lava Dart is basically it's a lot of damage. Is the best way of putting it.
yeah,
Underworld Breach might do it as well because Breach plus DRC, like you're supposed to essentially have Escape 2, which is a lot less than Escape 3.
yeah. Two is less than three is okay. Interesting.
Oh, I wonder what that. So you play the show off, you play Harvest, you get to learn. I think that's just let's see, 3, 3, 3. That's 9.
I think that's just.
Uh,
I think that just is right.
if you play your show off first, I think it should be. Hmm.
I think regardless, even if it's not a win exactly on this turn, I think Emma's probably in a good position either way.
So 6. You name non-land, obviously, because like lands are useless.
Let's see. What do we have Delirium even without that Lava Dart? I think the answer is yes. So I think you can attack Dart Fate. Oh wait, Saffron's at 15. Sorry, I had this. I had the life totals in reversed.
Yeah, that's why I think you needed the second show off.
Yep.
What second show? Hmm.
With that Soulscar Mage, I will say that the Lava Dart does allow for a trade with the Adeline. Um,
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid trading with Saffron's creatures, mostly because I think that's like just not winning most of the time, if that makes sense.
right. Yeah, I agree that that's not like the line you want to be doing. But I think this is effectively a lethal attack, so there may be,
Mhm.
there if you're going to have to chump block anyway, you might as well kill the creature as well. You can.
I think you can chump with Soulscar Mage on Adeline and hope. I didn't do the math exactly, but I think like a spell is still lethal next turn, like a non-creature spell.
I think it
Okay.
depends. Okay, here we
Oh,
go.
Sanctifier and Vec. Does that change anything? Thalia.
Thalia, I don't actually know. Actually, don't think Thalia changes a whole lot. It maybe changes something if you're drawing like a 2 mana spell of some sort.
Right. I think I would take Sanctifier because then that forces
Or the
the
lieutenant, actually. I could see.
yeah, I think the Sanctifier cuts off more outs in the form of like Underworld Breach.
Yeah, that makes sense. Although Breach, I could see Breach possibly still being lethal with just Bobble anyway. Uh,
Yep. Mhm. I think the Thalia was no, Esper Sentinel was selected.
okay.
Wait, no, wait. Okay. I don't actually know it was selected because now it's face down underneath the cage. I guess we'll find out when the cage is activated.
Yeah. We'll find out like
Yeah.
everyone else and see what happens from that.
I've had the good fortune of playing with that cage in limited. It is quite broken, which is not very surprising.
Yeah, that does not surprise me at all. I can believe that. Yeah, this is an interesting spot. I agree with what you were saying before. I think you want to chump with the Soulscar Mage. It's an interesting spot where I don't like kind of whoever blinks first like loses in a way because
Mhm,
if Emma fires off the lava dart, then the collector's cage gets to get activated for free, and
mhm.
if the collector's cage gets fired off, it has to be targeting a one power creature or a one toughness creature, in which case the lava dart would invalidate that. So an interesting spot.
Well, you could just target the champion of the parish, right? The big champion.
You can, yeah, but I don't think that. Oh, that would. You're right. That would fulfill. That still would fulfill the requirements of the cage. Ignore me.
Yeah, that's what I would do if I were doing this. Now
So it looks like
Thalia's
it was the Thalia. I think Thalia makes a lot of sense. Like it is a safe.
Mhm.
I don't think it can stop the most powerful like setups, but yeah.
Okay, so it's really hard because our third land's a fetch, and yeah, that's the match. Um, yeah, kind of a good performance for the humans hideaway deck. Do we
Yes.
call it humans hideaway?